Hey there, welcome to Acadia National Park. Each year, 3.5 million visits come to experience our breathtaking rocky shorelines, granite mountains, forests, and lakes. We're pretty popular. But that popularity means more impacts to the park. Let's go over the 7 Leave No Trace principles so that we can minimize our impact. Principle number 1, know before you go.
Principle number 2, stick to trails.
Principle number 3, trash your trash.
Principle number 4, leave it as you find it. Click, click.
Principle 5, be careful with fire.
Principle number 6, respect wildlife.
Principle number 7, be considerate to other visitors.
Principle number 1, know before you go. Be sure to bring enough food and water for your day's adventure. There are water fountains around the park, like at Jordan Pond House and Sand Beach, but to be sure, bring your own water. It's always great to stop by the Hulls Cove Visitor Center. You can grab a map, fill up your water bottle, use the restroom, or ask a ranger any questions you have about the park or where you're adventuring today. You can also check online at nps.gov/ACAD to check for any road or trail closures happening in the park. Acadia is one of the most dog-friendly national parks, but we ask that they be kept on a 6-foot leash. So make sure to pack your leash as well as bags to pack out your dog waste. Dog waste can contaminate waterways as well as be a nuisance to other visitors.
Principle number 2, stick to trails. Stop by Hulls Cove Visitor Center and grab a map to make sure you're not wandering off trail. Here in Acadia, we mark our trails in 2 main ways. The first are our blue blazes, which are painted on rocks and trees, and the second are our Bates cairns, a cairn unique to Acadia National Park. We have 2 base stones on the bottom, a mantle stone, and a pointer stone on top. The pointer stone on top and the hole in the middle should both point you in the correct direction. Stick to durable surfaces like rocks, mud, and already established trails. On Acadia's summits, we have lots of fragile alpine vegetation that can be damaged by even a single step. And please be wary of the restoration area signs and the roped off areas. To avoid widening trails, always walk in the middle, even if it's muddy. And if you're with a group of people, try to walk in single file. Out-of-bounds camping in Acadia is strictly prohibited. Please use one of our designated campground areas.
Principle number 3, trash your trash. If you pack it in, pack it out. Bring a plastic bag or some other form of waste container to make sure you're not leaving any trash behind. Even decomposable items like apple cores or banana peels are considered trash. They're not native to Acadia, and if consumed by local wildlife, it could be harmful. Even items such as orange peels can surprisingly take up to 6 months to decompose. Keep an eye out for garbage cans. Always read the label and make sure you're placing your trash in the correct bins. Some of the lakes and ponds in Acadia are not only home to native wildlife, but also supply drinking water to the local towns. It is especially important to avoid putting soap, food, or waste in or near these water sources. Try to use the restroom before you head out, but if nature calls, make sure you're 200 feet or 70 big steps away from any trails or water sources.
Principle number 4, leave it as you find it. Click, click. Leave rocks as you find it, whether it be on our summits or on our shores. Rocks on our summits keep crucial dirt in place and prevent erosion. Both the rocks on our shores and our summits are important habitats for the tinier creatures that we host here in Acadia. Moving a rock might mean moving someone's roof. Though it may be tempting, refrain from taking things such as rocks, pine cones, and flowers. It might not seem like a big deal since it's only just one, but we have 3.5 million visits a year. If everyone took one, there'd be little resources left. So you might be asking, what can we do to remember our experience? Well, you can take a picture, draw what you saw, write in your journal, or if you're musically inclined, even write a song. There are many ways to enjoy nature without taking away from it.
Principle 5, be careful with fire. Collecting firewood is prohibited in Acadia, so be sure to bring your own firewood to our campsites. Be sure to buy from a local firewood vendor. Bringing firewood from home can result in bringing harmful insects and diseases into our park. In Acadia National Park, fires are restricted to picnic areas and campgrounds in a fire ring or personal gas grills and stoves, with the exception of in a park building. Fires are never allowed during periods of high fire danger. This should be indicated on the Maine Forest Service's website as well as at the fire departments in nearby areas. Burn all wood to ash and make sure that the fire is completely out and cold before you leave. And remember, a fire is not a garbage can. Be sure to pick up all food and trash when you leave. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Principle number 6, respect wildlife. Observe wildlife from a distance and remember not to approach, feed, or follow them. A good rule of thumb is to use your thumb. If you're observing wildlife and you put your thumb over it and you can still see the animal, then you are too close. Human food is unhealthy for wild animals, and feeding them can lead to increased bad behavior, such as begging and aggressiveness. Avoid leaving food and trash out at your campsite. Acadia National Park is home to many fascinating amphibians. Although it may be tempting to handle them, they should be left where they are. Amphibians like salamanders and frogs breathe through their skin, so handling them may limit their ability to breathe. Depending on the time of year, you may see a few turtles crossing the carriage roads. Although it may be tempting to help them across, it's important to keep your distance and your hands to yourself.
Principle number 7, be considerate to other visitors. Here in Acadia, we're lucky to have 45 miles of carriage roads built by John D. Rockefeller Jr. This unique addition features activities such as walking, running, cycling, horseback riding, and carriage rides. With all this going on, it's important to know who has the right of way. Everybody must yield to horses, and cyclists have to yield to pedestrians and horses, and the speed limit is 20 miles per hour. Acadia is one of the most dog-friendly national parks. However, all dogs must be kept on a 6-foot leash at all times. Not only is this respectful to other visitors, it keeps your dog and our wildlife safe. Remember that everybody comes out to the park for different reasons. Even though you might like to listen to music while you hike, some visitors like to enjoy the sounds of nature. A simple solution: wear headphones when listening to your music. Thank you for leaving no trace, and remember, be considerate to other visitors.